Do you guys want to see what a $40 piece of hose looks like? Ta-da! Yeah. The only place that I could find where this hose was sold was basically Studebaker International, and they wanted $30 plus $10 to ship it to me, and it sucks because literally all this is a piece of hose. $40. I'm tempted to figure out where they get it from, because I guarantee you they buy it in a really long stock form and then just cut it to size and make, you know, $1,000 or 1,000% profit on it. But yeah, I had to do the same thing with the caddy. Spent a lot of money for a stupid hose that's, you know, gasoline resistant. So let's put it in. We have the gas pipe in, and check this out. If you look under here, look how much nicer that is with the new one. It's not collapsed down onto here, and there's actually a gap. So let's put in some gas and see if it leaks. Last time I did this, it instantly poured out on the ground. So let's see what it does this time. So far, so good. One really cool thing about YouTube is I get a bunch of comments from you guys, and if I ever miss something, you definitely let me know. So one really interesting thing that I didn't know is that there is a restrictor on this oil filter system. So the car originally had these kind of fittings. It had 3 of them, and you can see the diameter of that hole right there, but one of them, which I did notice when I took it off, but I didn't know what it was for, is smaller. I don't know if you can see that, but the little hole inside of that one is much smaller than the other one. So what that does is that restriction keeps oil pressure higher inside the motor. Since basically the way this oil filter works is engine oil pressure pushes oil into the oil filter canister right here. It goes through the filter and then just drains back into the crankcase. And that's all it does. So you need some kind of restriction in order to keep the oil pressure so you don't just lose it, because it's a gravity type filter. And so that's what I did. I'm going to end up replacing one of the fittings with this barb fitting and including that in it. So thank you to all the 2 members that commented on this, Good Car Mechanic and L2 Lark. They commented on it and might have saved me some main bearings, so that's good. The problem that I've been having is that I can't get the headlights or the brights to work in the front of the car. Now, I did have them working at one point, and then I pushed on this dimmer switch, which goes through the floor, and they stopped working. Looking at the wiring diagram, you can see that the headlights get their power from this switch, so this has to be the problem. Now, this switch usually has a cover on it. You can see right here, there's a cover full of dirt, so that's got to go. But 4 bolts later, I'm in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the contacts with sandpaper and see if that's enough to fix it. With the wires all cleaned up, you can see that I do get power to the switch. But no matter what I do on the instrument panel or what I do with the foot switch, I'm not getting power to any of these other ones. And I know they need to get it through this switch. So I'm thinking I'll take this switch out of the floor, take it apart. I'll see if I can take it apart and clean it up. So this switch is held together by what I call pinch points. 2 here, 1 here, 1 here, and then 2 in the back, and they kind of just hold it together. And so you take that apart. So there's the top of it, and then this piece goes on top of here. So what happens when you press this in, it kind of rotates it, or so it's rotating it around, and that moves that brass piece over these contacts. So you can see they're pretty gross. So I'm hoping cleaning this up will fix something. Let's go ahead and take that off. There's that piece. So it's a pretty simple switch. It's kind of hard to get it all messed up. for the center shaft and spring, and then this part, and that's it. That's all it really is. So we can clean it up, we can lube it up. It's just moves in and out like that. So I'm hoping it's these brass parts that aren't making contact anymore. We'll clean them up and we'll see what we can do. Here are all the brass pieces all cleaned up. I'm thinking they'll conduct electricity a little bit better like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up this switch with dielectric tune-up grease. Basically it's grease that electricity can run through, and it will prevent corrosion from getting inside the switch, especially since it's outside the car. Now, what I think the problem was, the old greases they put on back in 1958 had kind of turned into really thick paste and wasn't letting any electricity through. So hopefully this will fix the problem. Alright guys, here's the test. So when I got the car home, the battery was dead because somebody had left the lights on, and now I have to do something to fix the lights. So I think it's pretty hilarious. But I have the switch all cleaned up inside. Let's see if it works. Look at that. Well, I consider that mission accomplished. Here's the cleaner element. I've soaked it in gasoline, I've vacuumed it out, and I've banged it on the concrete to get all the dirt out of it. Hopefully that's good. Here's the oil filter bath. Now, I put in, it's about almost half a quart, and I just used some oil that I had laying around. I'm not going to bother to spend expensive stuff on that. So the oil bath air cleaner should be ready. Well, some days you just can't win. So I went to fill this air cleaner full of oil. Yeah, made a mess. Why? Because there's pinholes in it, which I didn't know about. So, gotta fix those.